made in Ghana, and these products you see all around, some are being shipped out, and it tells us that we have something good in Ghana, we have something good in Africa.
All right. So welcome to another session of Solution Ghana, and today we are talking about the relationship between high academia and technical skills. What has been observation over time? I believe that Ghana is growing strongly in technical skills area, and we are even having tertiary institutions established, systems established in that regard. And of course, if any country wants to do well, it is because it's been able to shore up its local industry to a level where we can export a level of value addition that will make an impression on the international market. Of course, China, India, Singapore, and quite a number of countries that are making it in the gross domestic production space is because they've been able to shore up their local technical abilities, you know, harnessing the technical abilities and the potentials and the talents of the youth in this regard. And I believe that Ghana is coming up strongly in this light. And as you saw in the clip before now, before this time that we're talking, you've seen that a lot is happening behind the scenes. And here, live in the studios, we brought on, and we are able to bring on one of the pioneers in the metal fabrication world. He is somebody I've observed over time, actually. He's not too far from me. And he is in the name of Engineer Innana Domina. You're very welcome into the studios.
Thank you.
I was praying for today.
Yeah.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
On the far left, we have Mr. Chumesi Ankra, who is the manager for the establishment they have right here in Adenta Asalobotre. And they are doing so well. And yes, just stay glued to your seat. Learn something more about what is happening in Ghana in this light. And I'm sure that you have one or two things to take home and also be inspired for change. Thank you.
What is so special about your metalworks, and what differentiates your metalworks from other metalworks that are around?
Okay, thank you. One thing about our outdoor is we know the country that we live in. So we manufacture the door to suit the weather, the houses that now we are building in Ghana. We are building a lifetime building. It's not about today we are building, then tomorrow we will do a renovation and then we will change the door. No. Yeah, okay. As for NYD door, it's forever. When you enter NYD, what you see is metal. We deal in metal. Okay. So
can you tell us, how long have you been in existence? How long have you been working here?
Okay. As for the shop is almost 24 years.
Oh. Wow.
But in the doors, we started around 2010.
Okay. So tell us, how has the business been so far?
Business is so good. So good.
Is this metal?
Everything you see here is metal.
Wow, there's no wood?
Nothing like wood. No.
Interesting. Can you take us through the process of how it's made? What is fascinating is this is all metal. When you look at it, it looks like it's a wooden finishing, but this is actually metal.
Yes.
This is metal. Yes. This is beautiful work.
This one like this is the same metal that you saw there.
Interesting.
Yes, but the color.
Wow.
Yes. So somebody will walk in and tell you, oh, me, I want a door looking like a wood, but I want it metal.
Interesting.
That is what we introduce for clients. Yes.
Interesting. How do you get this particular mix?
Yes. This one, it goes through a lot. Okay. It goes through a lot. And we can't give you all the ingredients, but this one too is a handwork. So when we are done with this, we have a department that does the spraying like this. Okay. Somebody will come, oh, I want any color that you bring, we can do it at NYD. Right. At NYD, okay. Yes. You see this one? This one is marble door. It's marble door. Okay. Yes, the person came, I want something red, black, something. Can you do something for me? Okay. Then we did this one. So this one, if you see it, when you are far, you think it's an alloco board, but it's pure metal.
Interesting.
Yes, pure metal.
This is really beautiful. Now, can you tell us, how do you usually source for your materials? Is it difficult when it comes to sourcing for materials, especially here in Ghana?
Yes. As for NYD, because we are the pioneers, we brought the made in Ghana. We are the first people who do this door. So we talk to the importers. So getting materials is not difficult for us. Yes, it's not difficult for us.
Is it from Africa or outside of Africa?
Some are from Africa, some are from outside. Yes.
Interesting. All right. So we would like to take a quick tour and look at the various stages.
Yes.
Then maybe you can explain to us more what goes on.
All right, so welcome back to the studios. I'm sure you enjoyed yourself with that clip. It is Vocal Brown, and as I said earlier, I have in the studios Engineer Innana Innana Domina with me, and together with him is Mr. Chumesi Ankra, who is the manager in his metal fabrication world, let me say kingdom, because there's so many aspects of it he's doing here and there. And I brought him in because he's one of the major pioneers when it comes to the creative aspect of the metal fabrication industry in Accra and in Ghana for that matter. They are doing so well all over across board, and the market is opening, and it looks like a very viable business. And even as the real estate market is growing, Ghana is touted as one of the fastest growing real estate industries as far as the nation is concerned in Africa. And so we want to leverage on this on every aspect. Metal fabrication also has the real estate dimension of it. And let me say over 80% of metal fabrication actually goes into the real estate aspect, only that it goes into various warehouses, gates, doors, and what have you. Well, so I have the right resource people in the studios to help us understand how it is done, what has been the challenges so far, and let some people who want to be apprentices and people who want to learn in this direction get some inspiration from here. Nanaya.
Yeah.
Engineer Innana Domina, you are very welcome to the studios. And
Thank you,
please, he also has political ambitions, and we're going to delve a bit into that as well. Let's see how it goes. How have you been so far? Where have you been all these years?
Yeah, Vocal Brown. I've been around. I've been around for some time now. I've been around in Ghana.
I know you've traveled. You've been down. You traveled a while. Just vanished in the system. You came back, but I can see that a lot is happening.
Yeah, it wasn't.
What's been happening with you so far? Yeah.
I traveled because of school. I started way back without going to school, so I decided to go back to school. So
okay.
The plan was I did a 10-year educational plan, and within the plan, I concluded the plan with at the end of the 10-year, I should have MSc. Yeah, I should have MSc certificate. So
wow.
What
has been your background? Let's
oh,
go.
Wow, my background.
Let's start from there.
In fact,
when it comes to your ambitions,
the local dialect. So I'm coming from far.
Yeah.
It has not been easy in my life. I didn't have the opportunity to continue my education after the JSS, as it was formerly called, JSS. So I learned my welding through apprenticeship. So I started way back in Medina, Misamampum. They call that place Misamampum.
Yes.
At the age of 12, that was when my grandmother took me to an engineer there who started with me.
Your grandmother, where was your mother?
No, that was my grandmother.
Grandmother.
Yeah,
where was your mother then?
My mother died as at that time
okay.
as well. So,
okay.
Yeah. So
sorry about that.
Oh, Charlie, it's one of those things.
Yes.
So after that, I went to Asamankese to continue with this apprenticeship, and in Asamankese it was bodywork and straightening. That's how we call it, bodywork and straightening. It's also under the metal fabrications industry, but this one is more of auto.
Okay.
Auto aspect of it. Then I think 1996, I came back to Accra, and I continued with this burglar proof main gates, canopies, and stuff.
1996. That should be like how many years? How many years now?
I think 29 years. Or so.
29 years. Wow, you've been in this industry for a long time.
I think so. 1996. And then 1999, I completed my apprenticeship and I became a master.
Okay.
Then year 2000, I was 20. I established NYD Classic Metalworks, where I still work with them. Though,
how challenging has it been establishing your own system, especially in Accra? Land is expensive and all that.
It has not been easy because to get a location to establish your shop it's not easy because if you are lucky that your parents or your siblings or maybe your guardians have a place or a land, then you are lucky. But if you are not, it means that you need to look out for it. And renting is expensive. Renting is expensive. But for me, I was lucky because my auntie, who is my mother, had a land where we are still now. So after my graduation as an apprentice, I decided to establish there. So I was lucky for that land, and that is still where I am now. Though her land is, let's say, beside where we are now.
Okay.
I still have a land owner there now.
Okay.
So at the age of 30, I told myself I couldn't have the opportunity to continue my education after GSS 1994. I completed GSS in 1994.
Wow.
So because I did not have the opportunity to continue, I told myself the reason was finance. But now that I have a shop that I'm working and is it rooping in some money, reaping in some money, then I can continue. I can continue with my education. So I decided to go back to school. But the question then was, do I have to go to SS or is there any other way? Luckily for me, there was a system that in place, and that system is the NOVDEC system that was introduced by a certain government. And I believe it was introduced during somewhere 98, 99 by the previous government. So I took an advantage of it. Because I was working, I was having a shop. So going back to the classroom as in SS is going to be tough. It means it's going to affect my business because this is where I get my income to further the education. So
you have to find a balance between still working and
schooling.
You needed a strategy that would work for
you.
Yeah.
So during that time, the plan was a 10 years educational plan. So 20 from that was 2010. 2010 to 2020, I should have MSc.
Wow.
So that was the plan.
No, you know, for me, for you to even have the confidence and the ambition and the passion for a 10-year educational plan from apprenticeship, not a lot of people have that. What kind of mindset, how did you get inspired to have that? Because I know that even doctors who want to go through 6-7 years medical training, you know, it takes some mental toughness to want to subscribe yourself to that. So what inspired you to do that?
You see, for me, I always say that my hobby is thinking. I always say that my hobby is thinking. So from childhood, I've always been thinking. I want to be wealthy. I want to be great. But in doing so, it means that I need to put in some action. So along the line, if I couldn't have the opportunity to continue education, nothing stops me. Nothing stops me. So after the plan, I told myself, this is the plan. So where do you start from? Yeah, you have to start from somewhere. Yeah, so you need SS. SS becomes like a visa to progress from wherever you are today, the next step. So as I took advantage of the NOVDEC system, I was searching for this NOVDEC classes where I could have these classes. Then I went to Ideal College, I went to DECAM, I went to Action, but I saw a lot of people within the section of a classroom. There were too many. And looking at my age, 30 years, and going back to school and meeting a lot of crowd like this, I've stayed home for a long time. I've forgotten everything. Even x plus 2x is equal to 2, so I cannot find x. I was just looking for x. So I told myself that no, I should have a simple way of still, acquiring the certificate, the SS, WASI certificate. So I was walking around. I think by then, that day I went to Action, and as I was coming back, I saw a container. And they have written First Star Institute. So I entered the container and I saw a fine gentleman there.
Mm.
And in fact, he did a very nice marketing. Because in fact, he lured me into the into the school. After the discussion, I told him that yes, I like this place. There are not too many.
Okay.
He took me to a place and I saw about 7 people. So with this particular setup, I think I'll be able to achieve what I want to achieve, which is the WASI certificate that I was looking for.
Okay. That's interesting, actually. So, how did you manage business alongside?
Yeah, it was tough.
You closed from
It was
school, you ran to work, or you had people supporting you from?
Okay. By then, the establishment,
On the ground, yeah.
the establishment had been 10 years on. So I had apprentices. I have masters. I have workers, employees who were working with me. Some of them were the people that I have trained. So they were still with me. So with an deck, the classes begins 8 and close at 4. So
Okay.
in the morning, I had to go for the classes, then close around 4 p.m.
Okay.
So 4 p.m. then I'll come back to the shop and look at what is going on at the shop and supervise the workers for the next day. That was the processes that I been through.
Okay.
Then I wrote the WASI exams. Thankfully to God, I didn't fail any paper.
Wow.
Even with
Wow.
elective maths that I used 3 months to learn, I didn't fail.
Wow. So the S plus, you found the
Yes,
X after all.
in fact, I found the X because I was looking for
You
the
found
X. I
the X.
remember the first time the teacher came to class and wanted to find out whether I can remember some of the things that I did in JSS. Then he wrote that in 2S plus 3 is equal to S, find S. I said, please, I have forgotten everything. I can't find X. But after, I was able to find the X.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
I passed.
Congratulations.
And after that, I looked at it, I said, no. I still have to progress because the SS WASI certificate is the visa. Now I have the visa. So I have to progress, I have to continue. So now I am continuing to as an international community now because I have the visa. If I have a visa, I can travel outside Ghana. So now that I have the visa, I can progress. So I also looked into matured courses. So
Okay.
I did a bit of inquiry into matured classes. I went to Legon, I went to UPSA, and
Wow.
I chose UPSA. So I went for their matured classes for 2 months.
Okay.
And that one too, I wrote the exams and I passed.
Okay.
And they admitted me into level 200 BSc marketing.
Wow.
And that is my first degree in marketing in UPSC. That's it.
Wow.
So after that,
Congrats.
I told
Congrats.
myself I have to progress because within the 10 years I need to have the MSc. Unfortunately for me, I had to marry. So within the plan,
Was that unfortunate?
for me, because I had to marry, because it wasn't part of my plan. That's why
Okay.
I'm introducing the unfortunately, because
Okay.
it wasn't part of the plan.
Okay.
Because the plan was educational plan.
To exhaust that
Yes.
10 years before.
Yes.
Okay.
But within the plan, I made some portions blank.
Okay.
I made some portions blank. And
Okay.
I guess the marrying aspect of it filled the blank portion.
Okay.
Filled
So
the
it
blank
added
portion.
more burden.
Yes, yes. So it delayed the plan.
Okay.
Because of me getting married, it delayed my 10 years educational
Okay.
plan. So though the plan was to have MSc after 10 years, the MSc came within the 10 years, but the MSc came after the 10 years.
Oh, I see. I see.
So that was how it happened.
Wow. Wow. Mr. Chumesi, how long have you known my brother?
Oh, thank you, my brother. I've known my boss from, I think, 2007.
Okay.
Yes. up to
Okay.
now.
Okay. Wow. And what has been the business relationship like so far? Has it been difficult? Has
No,
it
no,
been
no, no, no.
difficult?
No, no. You see, everybody has his own style of doing business. Yes. So me, I started business as with my grandmother.
Okay.
Yes. When we close from school, we go to farm. Then we do tomatoes, pepper, onion. After harvesting it, you have to sell it yourself.
Okay.
And then, so when I finished school, I came to Accra, do business. So me, I started business straight away.
Okay. It was in your blood.
Yes.
And you
yes.
connected with him.
Yes. Yes.
And it's working.
Very strong. Very strong.
But okay, so I'll come back to you again. But what I want to know is, well, a number of people can enter into metal fabrication as we are seeing it around. And people are sprouting, business are sprouting in that regard. But you seem to have this talent when it comes to your fabrications. What was the breaking point in creativity along your fabrications in your endeavor to be better? Did you add value? Did you see value from the academia into your handiwork? Was there did the influence come from there, or something else inspired you? What was the breaking point, really?
I would say it's art.
Okay.
I've had art in me for a long time. When I've been doing my JSS days, I used to draw. So I would say art. And from my experience, from childhood, from like 12 years, understudying an engineer, because the skill is a bit different. Engineering is a bit different. We normally call it machine shop. So there's they have a certain machines that they use for bolt and nuts and other stuff. So I gain experience from there. And from there to the body works aspect of it, the auto aspect. So with that one too, I gain another experience. So it's let me put it, a knowledge accumulation.
Okay.
So I accumulated the knowledge as I progressed.
They all work together for
yes,
you.
they work together. So after establishing the shop, based on all this sub knowledge that I have to make it one whole knowledge. So most of the ideas I copied from a bit of all these things.
Okay, and you applied it to your business.
Yes. And I'm always looking at solving problems.
Okay.
So I like also looking at stuff and trying to create something out of it. So with respect to maybe my designs, after my apprenticeship, or I graduated from my master and I established my shop, I didn't really fabricate most of the stuff that I learned from my master. Yeah,
okay.
So I had to change.
Okay.
Sometimes I sit down, I look at it and say, no, can I add something to what I learned from my master? And since then, that is what I've been doing. Anytime that I look at the metal stuff or maybe fabrication, I go back to what I already know and look at what's new. What can I bring new into the system? So that has been what I've been doing since. Then later on, I traveled. I had the opportunity to travel to Nigeria, and I saw the designs there. I saw the design with the security doors. So when I came back, I decided to enter into the security doors. And so some of the pictures that I had from Nigeria, I tried to introduce them, creating them, and I started it 2011. That was when I began fabricating the metal security doors, and this is where we are now.
Wow. Viewers, I can tell you that they are growing big and innovative all over the place. And well, I want to ask your manager, when it comes to the creative and innovative aspect of things, definitely he has the vision, and then he tries to introduce it to on the raw settings, right, where you are. How adaptive has it been? Has it been difficult adapting to the innovative aspect of the fabrication and all that since you came in? Especially working with the young boys who probably are also apprentices who need to come up to understand exactly what you want and things like how is it like?
Oh, what I can say is it's not difficult because I came in as a manager, not because of anything. I came in as a businessman who understand how to do business and make money out of it. So at first I was across the street, so I was watching every move at the shop. So when I sat down and then saw that I can do something to help the shop, then I came in through a client, how I approach them, talking to them, then so I approached one client named Kwame Ayu. Then I asked him.
Is it a Kwame you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
The footballer.
By then, I was not familiar with my boss.
Mm.
I didn't know that he is the owner.
Okay.
So I just walk in, do one or two things, as every businessman will do. So I approach him and then we talk. Then we solve one or two issues. And the man told me, you said this work, you don't know anything about it, and you've been able to do this. I said yes. Then the man told me, then you have to work hard and then achieve something.
Mm.
And I said, I don't know the boss. I only talk on phone.
Mm.
He said, if somebody is looking for my boss, he said, go to my brother. The person I don't know, and you are calling me a brother. Then why don't I go in full?
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I went in,
Mm.
and anything that he brings on board.
You're able to buy into the concept.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow,
So
that's great.
it's
Congrats
not
for that.
difficult for me at all.
Congrats for that. Okay, so viewers, we're going to show you the raw stage of what it takes, especially through the lens of NYD company, how it is like fabricated the metal, the locks, the lock aspect of it, and all the various details that came in. You're going to have that shortly, and then we will be back into the studios.
This is the outer frame.
Okay.
This one is the outer frame, and then this one is the inner frame.
Okay.
And then this is how NY we buy it, then we mold it to suit the door. Yes. So as you see it like this, it's solid. It can carry any height, any weight with these hinges. This is the inner frame. This is the outer frame. So when we are doing the framing, this is the raw. This is the raw door. This is the raw door. So this one like this, we've weld the joint, we've grind it nicely. When we go to the other side, you see how they are doing the filler works, and then we do the primer, then we come to the finishing side. Yes.
So this is like the main production house.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
All right. We can go to the next stage.
This side is the manufacturing point.
Okay.
So we do everything here. Then it goes to this side. You see the pipe that is putting at the down has a measurement.
Okay.
So before you put that pipe, you have to know the measurement from the top to the down.
Okay.
You don't just put it like that. No. Then we weld it. That one is the brazing. We braze the frame.
Okay.
Because when you don't do it like that, the moment you open the door, the frame will go off. So we do that one, then we will turn it and then weld it again, and then we put the hinges and then the crocro. This one is the crocro that we have on all our doors.
Okay.
And then this one protects you when you are inside. Even when you lock this one alone without key, nobody can open the door from outside. Yes, that is why we put the crocro. People have the perception that, oh, I'm going to buy a security door and then do a bugger-proof behind. As for NYD, it's 2-in-1.
Okay.
You are buying the security door and then you have your bugger-proof as well.
Okay.
This is our bugger-proof behind the door. So when you are inside, no problem at all.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now let me ask, what special features, you mentioned the security door and my interest is piqued in, what special features makes the door a security door?
Okay. The outside we will go there right now.
Okay.
But this one is part of it, the crocro. Okay. So this is how the raw doors opens.
Okay.
When we are done with the framing, we open it and check if everything is okay before we cut the keys. So we've done the primer. So this one we call it primer.
I can see it's now more finished. It looks more rounded than the other ones.
Yes. So this is primer. We've primed it, making sure that all the metal is covered with the anti-rust.
Okay.
So this one is the anti-rust.
Okay.
No matter where you are putting the door, you are rest assured NYD doors doesn't rust.
Okay.
So we make sure we've treated the material before it goes to the spraying side. So this is what I was talking about. When we are done with the primer, we have to fix the key so that you will not see, at the end of the day, you will not see any dent on your door. This is a key.
Okay.
This is another key.
Okay.
And with this key and this key, nothing can open this door. Why? Because somebody will ask, oh, so when I remove the handle, then I can open the door. No, the engine is at the side.
Okay.
So we've screwed the cylinder to the pipe.
Okay.
So unless you get access at the edge before you can do something on this one. Okay. But how can you get to the edge without opening the door?
Okay.
Yes. And you see how the key comes out. 1, 2, 1, 2. So you have 4 teeth. I will call it 4 teeth. But somebody may have another terms of calling this one. But we have the 4 teeth. So even if you break this one, you have 1, 2, 3 to break. Okay. And when it comes to the top, that one I call it crazy key. Nothing.
Okay.
Yes. You asked me a question before. Like when we started, then we were asking the clients, what are your differences? What are your difficulties on the door? And we realized that with this cylinder, if somebody has a master key, he can open this one. Or somebody can use something on it to hit this one out and put another cylinder and then open the door. Because it's only cylinder and key that can open the door.
Okay.
So then we talked about it and then said, okay, then let's think about something else. Then we put this one on top.
Okay.
So with this one, even if you spoil it, screwdriver, pen, nothing can go in and then open the door unless you cut it.
Oh, okay. In our earlier talk, you mentioned that you import most of your materials. How does the foreign currency exchange, the fluctuations that come, how does it affect you?
You see, sometimes when you think about your clients, your customers, foreign currency doesn't matter. Okay. All we need is come in, we sort you out. We hold our prices more than 2 years.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing that affects us is maybe those who bring the materials, they will increase it, but we can't increase it. Why? Because when you increase it, the patronage will come down. So we don't use the foreign currency to price our doors. No, the moment we get the materials, we know how to satisfy the customer. That's all.
So thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much, our general manager. And we are glad to see this. Now, this is made in Ghana. This is made in Ghana. Although the materials may be imported, these are people who are Ghanaians making Ghana proud. Let me ask one more question. Have you had clients exporting your products?
Yes. We have, we've done door to Sierra Leone, Togo, Guinea. And as I'm talking to you right now, we are in negotiation with somebody. Somebody wants us to do a door for him to US.
This is made in Ghana, and these products you see all around, some are being shipped out. And it tells us that we have something good in Ghana. We have something good in Africa. Let us patronize our own. Coming to you from the NYD workshop in Ashaliboche. This is Gladys Kumsen signing out.
All right, so welcome back. This is Solution Ghana and it's Volker Brown, and we've been talking about metal fabrication industry in the country and in alignment with the high academia. We want to encourage our youth. We want to encourage those out there who are apprentices not to only remain on the streets, but also be inspired by Engineer Nanayao Innana Domina, who has done so much, being on the street, being street smart, at the same time being academia smart as well. He's had a 10-year plan that almost worked, except that he married the boy. And so it had to drip. But whatever it is, the plan was still the plan.
Yes.
He managed to get through. He has his master's. He went out to travel and he's back. And this apprenticeship he's picked up, started his own fabrication. He's pioneered a lot of innovative, creative aspects of metal fabrication. And he's growing big and big. And so if you just join us, well, you are in for a great ride. So I want us to zoom into some other aspects. All right, what are your ambitions so far? Your 10-year plan has been exhausted. You are achieving things both on the academic level with your masters, and now you are applying some of those value additions, knowledge-wise, mixing it with your innovation. It's become a cocktail of talent and academic and intellectual, addition to getting, something creative on the ground that will make money for you. I'm sure that a lot are being inspired by what you're achieving.
Yeah.
And I also know that, well, for somebody who has achieved this, you should have some other plans up your sleeves. Tell us about it.
Okay, I will start from my educational plan, though the 10-year educational plan has been exhausted.
Wow.
However, I'm still looking into pursuing up to the PhD level.
Wow.
So even this year, I was thinking about writing 2 papers for publication.
Wow.
Which I'm almost done with a paper.
Wow.
I'm almost done with 1.
Wow.
So I still have other educational plan, which is the PhD level. But with regards to NYD Classic Metalworks, our main goal is to have a bigger fabrication, let's say, point in Ghana, whereby we can also export to other neighboring African countries. For now, that is our main goal, to be able to expand into our neighboring African countries. But with creation, with respect to our fabrications, I'm looking into creating different designs, different style of doors. I'm talking about sliding doors. It's something that I'm thinking about. Just that these days I feel lazy thinking, but I believe I will still embark on
Is there a demotivating aspect of that? Is it that the terrain does not allow creativity to be rewarded?
Yeah.
Is that the issue? Because I've observed a number of times that creative people at a point lose steam, maybe because they're not being rewarded for their creativity.
I think the demotivation is the reward, because when you want to create something, you go into a lot of thinking. You do a lot of thinking. You brainstorm. You do a lot of things in the night. You will not sleep. You do so many things in the night just to be able to have an idea of something that you want to introduce into the system. So it is tedious. It is tedious. But at the end of the day, the part of the world that we find ourselves, you go through all this stress, think about something, create something. At the end of the day, you will not receive
you don't have the enabling environment,
the needed award
support
that you are looking for.
Okay.
So it's a bit challenging.
But I'm setting you up because it's your creativity and innovation that has brought you this far.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm also using this platform to encourage you to be more creative.
So in that case,
because you're going to get reward
in that
from
case,
it.
then I have to go back to my olden days and start thinking again.
And start dreaming in the night.
Yes, as I said earlier, that my hobby is thinking.
Yes.
I always see that if you really want to create something, you don't have to go far. You have to look at what human beings need. You have to look at the needs of human beings. And human beings, the needs are saturated. So because they are in a vast areas, then you need to look at what can you also introduce into the system that people will be interested in. So though I'm saying I'm feeling lazy to think but from where you are
Yeah.
coming in now, I'm motivated. So
Yes,
I'll
yes,
still
yes.
go
I'm
back.
achieving something.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm motivated. I'll still go back and start thinking again and start creating
Thank you so much.
additions.
We
to
need a
whatever
lot
I
of you in the system. We
Yeah.
need you to hold
Yeah.
things up because others
Yeah.
are looking at you and being inspired
Yeah.
by what you're doing.
Yeah.
But let me generally then ask a general question, all right? When you look at apprenticeship, when it comes to the artisanry aspect of industry, right now we have the whole technical university and other tertiary institutions coming up, specially dedicated for TVET, as we know it in the country. Is that laudable? Are we going the right direction? If we want to compare it, would you say that we should go into apprenticeship? That's the most effective way. I'm asking you because you have come through that apprenticeship line, but you've also gone into the academia. What would you say? Should we marry the two? How do we do it in the first place to make sure we leverage it as much as possible, both the street sense and the academia?
Yeah, I think we need to combine it. I think we need to combine it in the sense that whatever that you are learning through apprenticeship was something that somebody studied from someone and wrote a book. So if, let's say, you are not studying or learning through apprenticeship, or maybe you are acquiring that knowledge through the academia, it is something that someone is already practicing. That someone maybe through research wrote a book on it, then you are studying it in a classroom. So we cannot decouple the academia and the apprenticeships. We need to rather combine it, because the apprenticeship will give you the practical aspect of it. But theoretically, you need to also understand why or exactly what you are doing, so that you know the whys of what you are doing. Because if you don't understand the whys, then you will not be able to improve on it. So the theoretical aspect will give you the knowledge with respect to how that thing came about and why you are doing it this way. So example is, let's say, a welder. You have a normal welding shop. You have your vise, you have your hacksaw, cutting, and other stuff. So you learn the hacksaw. You learn the hacksaw. But let's say in classroom, they will just tell you hacksaw. But when you come to the practical aspect of it, you will see the hacksaw
and how to use it.
And how to use it. So even if you are learning it theoretically, the how to use it, the practical aspect of it will give you an overall knowledge which will solid your grounds with respect to the field that you find yourself in.
Well, we seem to understand that and probably are doing something about it, but would you say it's enough? Have we closed the gap enough when it comes to academia and practical living it? Because I know there are laboratories which in whichever shape it comes in the universities and all that, where they learn to do this practically, but would you say it's enough? Or you think that we should look more into getting them into the streets, the students onto the streets, where it's being done, you know, from the indigenous grounds and environments?
What I would say is that after learning, let's say in the classroom, maybe the national service scheme, they should introduce apprenticeship. Let's say 1 year apprenticeship, or let's say 2 years apprenticeship. So if, let's say, someone is studying engineering in school, the national service, they should direct the person to apprenticeship for practical experience. So by the time the person finishes the national service under this apprenticeship, the person will be able to, the person will be well equipped.
Formidable.
Yes, well equipped into the market, rather than finishing the theoretical aspect of it in classroom and after that without any apprenticeship
on the ground,
service. At the end of the day, it is now that the person is going to do, let's say when the person gets into the market, it's going to be difficult for the person to compete with the already existing apprentices who already have their shops and their businesses.
I know what it takes.
So I think government can look into it, how to create a national service for our technical side of academia, so that it is not going to be all books alone, but at the end of the day, the national service will also cater for the practical aspect of it.
Wow. Thank you so much. I think that's quite some wisdom. And I pray that the stakeholders, our government, is listening and doing something about it, because I think we really need this. This is how a number of Asian countries came up and are strong economically. So I believe that the marriage between academia and street sense, even in the technical skills, is very important. Thank you for that. But before we wrap up on this, you have political ambitions. I'm excited about that, because I believe that we need more innovative and creative people in that space who are not only theoretical, but we know how to mobilize the youth and create jobs, create industries and all that for our teeming youth. What inspired your political ambition?
I would say human survivor. I would say human survivor. And I have classified it under human survivor because I believe in politics. It's all about leadership. And in solving human problems, then you need to rise to a certain point that you'll be able to come out with solutions. You'll be able to come out with policies that will solve human problems. So I think basically I had my inspiration from trying to solve human problems.
Okay.
And let me also put it this way. Maybe because of my MSc, I did MSc in economics and management. Reading economics, and I've got the knowledge, and even I think I define economics as human survival to one of my professors, and he asked me why, and I told him that yes, I believe when we wake up in the morning, we are looking at what to eat, what to drink, we are looking at what to wear, we are looking at where to lay our hairs, and so on and so forth. So with this, I am saying that economics is human survival, because if I want to survive, it means that I need to look out for water, because water forms part of the necessity. If I want to survive, it means that I need to eat. So if I need to eat, it means that I need to cultivate. If I need water to drink, I have to dig, what do you call it, a well. So I have to look for a stream and get water to drink. And water, food, they all form part of the necessities in life. So in that regard,
then shelter.
Yes, in that
three
regard.
basic necessities.
Yes, then in that regard, then for me, economics is what? Human survival.
Simple and short.
Simple and short. Economics is human survival. So all the other aspects of calculating GDP, calculating demand and supply, calculating all sort of, let's say, the theories, it is all geared towards what? Human survival. That is from my perspective. Because whatever that we do, it is because we want to achieve a certain end. So in regard to achieving the certain end, it means that we want to survive. So even if it comes to the luxurious aspect of it, we want to survive. If it comes to the necessity, we want to survive. Whatever that happens within that line, it means that we want to survive. So what can I also do to assist in this particular human survival? It has been my inspiration to also embark on getting to a certain level, because I believe policies direct so many actions within a certain country or community. So to be able to come up with policies that directs human actions, then you need to aspire to get to the top.
Wow.
And that inspired my political ambition.
Wow. I'm more impressed because of your story. How far you have come, from the streets, learning to survive by yourself, learning to add value from the street sense, and then going into academia, and then polishing yourself, adding value to yourself, going abroad to study, coming back, and you're not just okay with the current success that you have. You want to move on to the national level. I think that's quite impressive, and I'm sure that the sky is not even your limit. I pray that God helps you to go as far as you can, because we need people like you to inspire our generation into more creative, innovative, technical things. That's where Ghana is now. We need more of that. So I pray that God helps you in that journey. Well, Mr. Chumesi, you've worked with engineer for a while. Where is the business going, as far as you have seen it? Well, he's mentioned that you want to go international more. I know that you're raking that aspect a little, but you want to do more of that. But when it comes to the apprenticeship and academia and all that, where do you think we are going so far with NYD?
NYD is, if I'm rating it from 1 to 10, I will tell you right now, NYD will be in between 7 and 8.
Okay.
Yes, but we are not comfortable with what's now where we are. We want to go far. And through our boss, the way he brought ideas, let's do this, let's do that. Every year we have something new to do. And that's one will just lead us to where we want to go.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Wow.
NYD is very far.
Okay. So are you looking at more of the international frontiers?
Yes.
Beyond Africa?
Yes. And as I'm speaking to you right now, we've done doors to Sierra Leone, Togo, Guinea. Yes.
I'm sure you mentioned an aspect of that in the videos anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
They are so happy.
Wow. Well, I pray that we are able to achieve such dreams, because the more we support each other to grow and to scale up on the international level, the more our gross domestic activities are also scaling up, and the more our economy is getting better day by day. Well, so to wrap up, it's been a very interesting journey. I know there's a lot to talk about, but there are some soft aspects of you that I know that you've not brought up. Tell us a bit about your soft, just in a few minutes, some things that you're able to do that the populace that don't know yet. Those soft aspects of you.
The soft, I would say, it's giving. I love giving.
Okay.
I love helping.
Okay.
I love helping.
Okay.
Sometimes I will just sit down quietly and ask myself, what is my talent? And I believe my talent is giving.
Wow.
And helping, and also giving advices.
Wow.
I love giving advices. At any point in time, I just want to give an advice to people. Maybe it is because of my upbringing and where I've been to. I mean, the hustling life, the street life. And because of that, the soft aspect of me is give a lot, make people happy. Make people happy.
Wow.
I think it's one part of my inspiration because into politics.
Wow.
Just to make people happy.
Wow.
If you want to make people happy, then you need to solve their problems.
Yes.
You need to solve their problems. When you are solving their problems, you make them happy.
Great. Giving is his soft spot. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a very nice show. I know you've enjoyed yourself, and I know most of you are inspired out there. Let's keep sharing this link. Let's keep trailing it out there, because a lot of people need to hear this. They need to be inspired by the story of others. And Engineer Innana Domina has been in the house, and also his manager for NYD Classic Metal Works as a business that we've been talking to, and they've been all over the place, very prolific, very innovative. You want to get in touch with them, well, get to us and we'll lead you there. All right, but God bless you, and God bless our homeland Ghana. I'll see you.